Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Boy, I tell you, sometimes what happens just before the interview is almost as good as the interview. Many gestures were flying around our set just a second ago.
But the man himself is here. We haven't caught up with Bernard Cuffling in quite some time. He's currently doing Bard on the Beach. And we have to say, congratulations on kicking cancer in the hiney.
Yeah, well, this is because you're wonderful people, I'm great to be here. But this time last year, I was lying on the sofa just thinking, I can't go through with this. I can't go through with this.
And you had throat cancer.
Yeah,
you're an actor. You're a voiceover artist. Your voice is your business.
And had never smoked.
I never smoked, no. And I thought that I just pulled some muscles in my vocal cords, and nobody could find out what was wrong. I went to my doctors, I went to dentists, because then I had a toothache at the back there. And then went back to my doctor, and he said, well, what we're going to do, we'll send you to a throat specialist. Right. And I thought that'll be the following week, but it was like months down the road, and I had a number of contracts. In fact, the appointment I got, which was for February of last year, 2011, I was in Calgary. Luckily, I wasn't in the play. I was directing the play, and we'd opened, but it was at the theatre where the following week they have a big party and the press and everything. And that was when my appointment. And I said to my bosses, look, I'm either going to stay or I should go for this appointment, just in case, because, you know.
And it wasn't bothering you that much at the time?
No, it was just a slight sore throat, which had been on for months. But I thought, well, it's the cords. Well, luckily, thank God, somebody guided me to come back to Vancouver to go to the throats. And he is an amazing man. He's probably the best man in town, Dr. Morrison. Could find nothing wrong. And they put he was looking, and he said, but what I'm going to do, Bernard, I'm going to send you for a CAT scan. That was the last, he said, CAT scan, fine.
That's the last thing, last check off the list.
That was it. I went to the CAT scan, then I get a call to go to St. Paul's. And so the doctor said to me, okay, well, you have a tumor. And I go, a tumor? He said, I said, well, what does that mean? He said, well, it means you have cancer. And I said, where? He said, right there. So your whole life collapses. Yeah. Because I knew of a guy on Vancouver Island that had an operation and lost his jaw and everything.
Always go, it's human instinct to go to the worst, right? You always go, you think of all those examples that are there.
So the first thing was that, and the second thing was, I rely on my voice for my work.
Yeah.
So that it was game over. And I remember walking home. I live in the West End. About 150-yard walk was the loneliest frigging walk I've ever had. But from then on, you work at, all right, I'm going to get over this, going to get over this.
Focus,
this amazing
And
cancer clinic.
Chemo and radiation is
chemo
not
and radiation.
easy.
No. And I didn't know what, I was told about the side effects, and I thought, oh, I've got away with this. I haven't been burned, I haven't passed out, I haven't lost weight, and then suddenly it all happened, and I lost 50 pounds, completely burnt all around here. This is still baby's flesh now, but completely burnt. So every time I moved, it would bleed. It's like third-degree sunburn. Losing so much weight, I had to do everything slow because I'd pass out. I couldn't eat because I had mouth ulcers, so I was drinking 2 spoonfuls of soup a day. And and then I remember collapsing in the bathroom and just thinking and seeing the Tylenol 3, and I thought, I'm just going to take the whole lot.
Oh, Bernard.
You know, you do get to that, even though there was an instinct to survive, but I couldn't see any future. But obviously I did, and then every day I got better. And then you're going to the clinic, and this is the amazing thing, this amazing cancer clinic, there were people way worse off than I, particularly young women.
Yeah, we
far
have
worse
a
off.
young woman who's a cancer survivor on later in the show, and it just, I mean, you can survive it. And going to the doctor when you have those things wrong, the little nagging things is so important, because early detection, you can sit here and talk about it.
Yeah.
You look good.
I know, and you sound good.
I know, I feel fantastic because I'm like some 12-year-old. Because this year, I'm now thought, okay, stuff that. I'm going to do the things I want to do.
Yeah.
And I said to you earlier, Mike, I mean, Brit, I've never been to Paris, never been to Venice. I went to Paris and Venice. Thought, wow, this is incredible.
You grew up in England, so going to Paris felt like a betrayal.
Well, my parents said the French. We don't want to know about the French.
So you've never been to Paris your whole life?
So 67.
What
I
a
go to Paris.
revelation that would have must have been.
Well,
incredible.
let's talk about a little Shakespeare. And
Yeah,
before
no
we talk
kidding.
about Bard, you had a long time ago. You said something happened during a production of King Lear. What was it?
Well, first, we'll talk about. Okay, it's a lovely story. When I was a young man, gung-ho in theatre, I was in a production of King Lear, and it was in a small theatre, and the King Lear, the actor, was having a nervous breakdown, which we realised at the last moment. So sometimes
Perfect play.
well, sometimes it was some of the greatest theatre you've ever seen, and other times it was like you thought, oh my Christ, this is like watching paint dry. Well, this particular show, this particular evening, and I played the Duke of Albany. That means I'm on in Act 1, Scene 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm away for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Then I come back. So this particular evening, it was a disaster out there. And one of the actors playing Regan, the other actress playing Cordelia, came into my dressing room and said, Bernard, oh God, we're dying. Oh, you do something, because I'm about to go on. And I'm a young guy, and I'm in the wings, and I'm really pumped up. I'm going to survive and bring this show back to life. And I make this entrance. As I made this entrance, I caught my eye on these 2 young schoolgirls in the front row. And I was just about to speak, and this girl turned to her friend and said, oh, he's back.
I will never do Shakespeare again.
Well, I thought, have I chosen the right career?
You did.
That's a great story.
You know, and the thing was, I understood where she was coming from. You know, I just wanted to
Yeah. And it influences every Shakespearean theater piece that you're in from now on. And what great ones are these? I mean, Macbeth, obviously, but Taming of the Shrew, which is one of my favorite Shakespearean comedies. It is brilliant.
Well, again, Marvel, Christopher Bless and Christopher Gaze said, oh, of course you're in Bard this year, of course you're in Bard. Shrew, with the dynamic Meg Rowe directing, this gal has such an eye for the stage, brilliant. And Macbeth, and I have to admit, it was a bumpy journey with the director, but he's done a superb production. It's the best. I can say this because I go on stage at 8 o'clock and I'm dead by 8:25. So
Perfect.
So you watch it, right? You see it.
Yeah. The only thing the bloody director did, he's got me to come back as a ghost right at the end of the show.
Oh, so you can't go home.
I'll go home. So what I do, they've got me to vacuum the green room and
Maybe this
mop
is
up.
revenge.
No.
Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the that fucking guy's back again. Yeah.
Bernard, so nice to see you, as always. If you'd like to see Bernard and the gang, Bard on the Beach is on until September the 22nd. You go to the website for tickets, and the fireworks are coming up, and they have special nights for that. Still a few tickets left if you want to go. What a wonderful evening to do in the summertime.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to think that phrase every time you march on the board.
I'm just going to say it whenever I see you now. That's it. That's my line. Up next, we're